Hi everyone, welcome to day 4 of PySpark learning. So today we are going to talk about data frames. Usually when you watch videos you might see like people might be talking about RDD first then go into data frames. So why I wanted to go to data frames because data frame is for structured and semi-structured data. So since we have already learned SQL, so you know how structured data is stored and how that is being retrieved. So that like we would be able to easily relate to what we have learned. Okay. So let me just provide you some insight about what is data frame. Data frame is a like in-memory storage, as we have mentioned in the storage, right? Like it help you to store the like structured or semi-structured data while doing the PySpark operations. This is schema based. So schema based means like you will have specific columns and data type. So that is what we have learned in SQL, right? And yeah, so it is for CSV, JSON. All these files are supported, and it also supports SQL queries because it's like a table kind of thing, and Spark is allowing you to write the same SQL select queries to do these activities. So distributed processing are all these things. So we'll move on to the window to the notebook page, right? So I already have our employee table which we have loaded last time. I have mentioned everything to save the time. So we're going to store the data frame. We are going to create a data frame here from a file called employee which is stored in my file store dbfs, so that you can see that here the dbfs, you can see the employee file employee.csv. So that's what I am going to use. Yeah, so when you do the spark.read command, the files from this load location would be stored here as a data frame. So let us try to understand different options here, right? So one, the format we are saying, is it CSV, JSON or whatever it is. So I to have this code. Okay, I have removed, but there was a JSON code. So you can write JSON here. So it will be helping you to read the JSON file. So then we have a header. So we are seeing header true. When you say header true, the first row in your file is going to be considered as the header for our data frame. And infer schema is like based on the data, a PySpark or the Spark will define the data type for your data frame. And in the load, we are providing from where you wanted to load the file, right? So I'm saying like it should be read from the employee CSV. Let me run this, and here I have this show command. I'm getting rid of the number. I'm running. So I have created the data frame called df underscore CSV, and it is showing. So by default, it shows 20 records. It's not like I only have 20 records. So it shows 20 records, and you can give whatever the number you want, and it would start showing you only that many numbers you have mentioned. Okay. So now you can see the statement, an assignment operator. What I'm doing here is like, I'm saying, okay, I have this file loaded in df underscore CSV. I wanted to create a new data frame called df. I'm assigning this value. So hereafter I'll be using df for my calculations. So this, like, what would be the purpose? If you are going to do any kind of manipulation, you can take a copy of this data, right? Those kind of things it will help. So now I have this df.head that will get you to give top couple of records. So when you run this df head, right, it gives you a result like this. Okay, so let me show you something interesting. I have a command called display here. I'm running this and their cell, and it's give me like a pretty result set, right, in the format of table. So what are the things which we can do with this table? Let us learn that. One, you can use this filter, and you can add filter, and whatever the conditions I wanted to say, is equal to, is not equal to, less than, right, is equal to 1. If I give, you can see that it is filtered to 1, right? You can add or conditions. So same way, right? Same way, however you wanted to apply a filter on the result set, like in Excel or something, you can make use of this, right? You can see many options to sort this and see the data. And you also have a download option here, like where you can download the result set. It will be downloaded locally. Yeah, add filter. Yeah, you can download it. So when you wanted to do some kind of data analysis, right, you would be able to make use of this. Yeah, yeah, you can apply all these things, copy result to clipboard. You can explore this. Just use this display command to get the values like this. So moving on, we have a print schema. Print schema will help you to get the data type of your columns. In SQL, you can use Alt F1, or you will go to the design. So same way, my employee ID is an integer, name is a string, department ID is an integer, salary is double, joining date is date. So these are my data types. So that, like, you know what are the format of data, and if you wanted to make some changes, you would be able to do that. We got the right data type here because we have mentioned the infer this statement, right? Infer schema as true. Coming on. So now you have got, like, now in our case we have only five columns, but what you have a data set with hundreds of columns, right? You might have a requirement. Always when I talk about this, right, better if you already know SQL, great, then you can easily relate. And if you are interested to learn SQL, watch the tutorial in the same YouTube channel with like SQL fundamentals, which help you to learn SQL in just 20 classes, very high level fundamentals and how it is working. So I'll try to relate more to the SQL here, so that like you have a base and you are trying to understand what it is. Okay. So here you wanted to read like few columns. You have 5 columns. I wanted to read or see only 2 columns from the data. So like select in SQL, you can specify the column names here, which help you to display only the columns you need. So here what you have learned, get all the data and get the definition. Now you are selecting only the columns you need, right? So we learned some errors. I'm going to give department D and I'm running it. So you got an error. So learn the error, right? So it's saying like a column or function parameter with the department D cannot be resolved. Did you mean the following? So the system itself is telling, okay, these are the column name I have, but you mentioned a wrong column name. So did you mean any of this, right? So this very detailed error which you could find anywhere. So I just fix that so that you know what are the columns and you can see. So here it's giving me the result. You can see only showing top 20, right? I have this. Now I'm going to apply a filter. So here I got all the records as a result, but my requirement is to get only the employee salary is greater than 70,000. I'm running this command. Let's see what happens. So it's giving me only values which is salary is greater than 70,000, right? You started getting a different result. So here keep this in mind. We should have got an error if I was running this first time. So I already ran this. So if you are using col command, it will throw an error. You need to import the call from the SQL functions. So you can use this particular command to import that call. Okay, and it is not necessary you have to use call. Let me show you other ways where you can do this. This is one of the way. I'm just saying, okay, filter salary is greater than 7,000. Maybe when I run it, you may not be sure will this work or not. So I'll say, okay, salary is less than 0. I'm running this. So this did not return because I don't have anybody with less than 0 salary, right? So you can either write everything in double quote, so that works as your condition. And if you're not interested in that and you have the other way, you can explicitly mention the columns from the data frame and you can put it in filter. Here I haven't mentioned it's from df, right? I'm saying okay, this is a column, so you need to treat it as a column and from the source. So that is how it, like, we use column. Here I'm saying that it's DataFrame.salary, so it should definitely be a column and you can filter it, and this will be filtered on the actual one, right? Now, yeah, I'm getting the same old result, like greater than 70,000. So this is about filter. Now you know, like, how to get the data, how to get only specific columns, and also how to get like how to filter the data. So we'll go a little more complex scenarios in filter. One is like you wanted to have multiple. In SQL you use and or. If you wanted to use multiple condition, you can use, in case of and, you can use this ampersand symbol. I'm saying that department ID should be 10 and salary should be greater than 70. Can be a requirement, right? So I'm getting only those people. Department ID is 10. So it's a like positive scenario for both. So this is where, like, I'm not teaching you every line by line, but what you have to understand here is, like, this is how you can write multiple statement, and same way in your using string you can do the same way. You use this ampersand and this would work. So you will be able to filter the data inside the filter by using conditions, which you can use and or what, however you want. Okay, and here one interesting thing is, it is not necessary you need to use filter. You can use where, the where as a statement to apply the filter. Okay, let's see anybody with less than 0 salary. No, nobody. So you can use where condition, and if you wanted to keep, okay, I'm lazy to remember filter, you can use where condition to do the same. And like like operator in SQL, which help you to get a name starts with a particular letter or things like that, right? We have the same like operator here. You can use in the same way, column name dot like, and name starts with a. So we are using the same SQL related, so you can easily relate. It's like the same way how you use everything starts with a, you use a percentage symbol. So here there are some differences, like you are always referring to this data frame object and also using the show command to display. And we have this filter esin. Esin is nothing but your in statement in SQL, right? If you wanted to check multiple values in one flow, you can use in condition. So here you have I checked department ID 1 and 3. So I'm only getting department ID 1 and 3. And date filter, the same way you can use date in double quote with the format, and you will be able to apply the date filter. So like what I was trying to cover here is, like, what is a data frame, right? So it is mainly for structure, so you can relate anything and everything which you do on SQL, and some very basic commands. We will be going into aggregations and all these SQL related things which you do, right? We'll be going deep into all that, but just keep this in mind. You can like take a files and use a read command to with a format which will help you to create the data frames, and you can do all the operations. If you already know Python, it would be very easy, and also if not, just try to understand how these commands are actually being written, right? When you are selecting, you are giving the column name, so everything is starting with your object. So df is what is my data frame, and everything is like df dot, forget about this display, but yeah, df dot. Then you are telling, okay, what I wanted to do, I wanted to filter. right? There I said I wanted to select, so I mentioned the column name. Here I am saying that filter, and what do I wanted to filter, right? I have written the condition, and I wanted to show the result. So let's try this, right? I'm not giving show. It is filtered, but you don't see the result, right? There's no error. So there would be scenarios which you will be learning why it is needed and all, but practice. I hope like you already have the DataFrame community edition account. If not, like watch the first video to create one and start practicing. You will explore more and more, and you will get familiar, so that like in the upcoming classes we'll be talking about additional functions and everything. Then we will move into RDD, and we'll see how you would deal with unstructured data. Okay, so that is all for today. Hope this is helpful for you to get a very high level understanding about what is data frames. We'll see you on the next video on day 5, when with more functions, like more elements, and which we can explore with the data frames. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.